Hello everyone, and welcome to our final edition of Fisher Football Focus for this season. I am your host, Kyle Lumsden. The St. John Fisher Cardinals, despite winning a share of the Empire 8 title, unfortunately did not receive an at-large bid into the NCAA tournament. The Cardinals were still able to play an ECAC Northwest Championship Bowl game. Entering the contest, Fisher was 5-1 all-time in ECAC Bowl games as they looked to end the season on a positive note, taking on Western Connecticut State at Growney Stadium. Now, let's take a look at the highlights. The Cardinals were pumped and ready to go as they hosted Western Connecticut State at Growney Stadium in the Northwest Championship Bowl game. Fisher's quarterback Danny Catan, making his first career start for the injured Tyler Fenty, would find Bobby Capisi, who broke through the defense and run into the end zone for the score, giving the Cardinals a 7-0 lead. In the second quarter, Catan, looking for Capisi downfield, was intercepted by Bobby Durham, which gives the Colonials great field position. Michael Nicole, off play action, would roam outside the pocket and on the run finds Tyree Pinder in the end zone for the touchdown. But a missed extra point would keep Fisher on top 7-6. With 4 minutes to play in the third quarter, it was Cardinals running back Chris Smith taking this handoff from the 1 and leaping in for the touchdown. Now in the fourth quarter, it was Smith again, this time running it 30 yards for the touchdown. This would give Fisher a commanding 21-6 lead. But the Colonials wouldn't go away, as Nicole, throwing it into double coverage, somehow getting it to Connor Falagera, who makes an impressive catch in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Western Connecticut would convert on this 2-point conversion, cutting the deficit to 7, 21-14. But Fisher's Tony Fusco would put this game out of reach, with 3 minutes left in the game as he would take this handoff and run it 65 yards for the score, as Fisher would go on to win its 6th ECAC Bowl Championship game, 28-14. Senior linebacker Mike Donaldson was named the most outstanding player of the game after racking up a game-high 12 tackles. Stay with us here on Fisher Football Focus, as coming up next, I'm joined on the show by 2 senior captains, so don't go away.
Get your ass here. You're not sitting here.
Yes, I am.
Move. Give it to him hard.
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh, you got...
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
I'd now like to welcome to the show 2 of the 4 captains on the football team, wide receiver Nathan Nagolian and linebacker Peter D'Amelia. Guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Unfortunately, you guys were unable to get an at-large bid into the NCAA tournament, but you were granted a bid in the ECAC Bowl Championship game. What was the mentality, Nathan, of the team after receiving the news that you guys were unable to get an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament?
Obviously, all season we had high expectations, and it was pretty upsetting to not reach our final goal. But we knew coming into this last game, we had one more game as a team, the 2014 Cardinals, the last time with the seniors. So we'd owe it to the seniors to do the best we can and obviously get a win. And as underclassmen, we talked about having it be a stepping stone into the offseason, the next season, and I think we did a great job fulfilling that.
Yeah, exactly. And you finished the final game winning 28-14, and it's a nice way to end the season and build upon that. How do you feel the game went? I guess with the defensive side of the ball and how you guys played throughout that game to get that victory.
Well, every game we go in expecting dominance. So to win 28-14, it was good to get a win in the ECAC Bowl, but we would have liked to, get the shutout. But obviously winning an ECAC Bowl was, a great accomplishment, and the guys are very happy about that.
Yeah, and it is your 6-1 all time in ECAA Bowl games, so it's a great accomplishment. So you guys should be very, very proud of yourselves for that. And I'm going to start again for the defense. All year you guys really praised on trying to shut out teams. And how do you feel from the day one that you got to camp to now ending the last game of the season? How did you guys grow or get better throughout the season?
Well, the season actually starts like in spring ball, spring semester. So last year, and going into spring ball, we knew we had a great group of guys, a lot of veterans coming back, and then we hit the season camp, and we really started to gel together. became a family, started to play well, and I think throughout the season we definitely got a lot better. Coach Fox would tell us we're at 95%, and we needed to get that last 5%. And I think towards the end of the season, the last couple games, we really started to hit that 5%. So I think we definitely grew a lot throughout the season.
And what about the offensive side of the ball? You guys were pretty much explosive and unstoppable all season long. What was, I guess, the keys to how you guys played offensively throughout the year?
A lot like what Pete said. We had a great group of returners coming back. And since then, it was just about building chemistry. We had good players that were going to step into roles that everyone had faith in. It was just as a group coming together and working as one unit. When we needed a first down, our running backs get it, our wide receivers get it, our quarterback get it, and we had confidence in our line up front. So it was nice having a great group of core guys coming back with great additions and younger guys stepping up. It was a nice fit for our offense.
Yeah, it's nice to have a core group of leaders that have been there and done it, and hopefully the younger guys can learn from you guys and whatnot. You had to battle an injury towards the end of the season. A lot of players on the offensive side of the ball got hurt, which allowed for other players to step up. But how difficult was it for the offensive to kind of make an adjustment week in and week out due to injuries?
It's real difficult. It's very frustrating. I mean, everyone gets banged up during the season, and if you say you don't, you're lying to yourself. Everyone in the football team has some sort of injury, but once it starts affecting your play and changing the schemes is when it hurts most. I mean, I was in and out of the lineup trying to practice during the week, not knowing if I was going to be able to play the weekend. So Coach Kramer had to kind of work around that. Tyler had to work around throwing to other receivers, and vice versa. When Tyler went down, the wide receivers had to get throws from Danny, who I thought did a great job. Everyone who got hurt, their backups did a great job, I thought. But I mean, we just got the injury bug at the end of the season. It was a frustrating way to kind of finish the end.
Yeah, it's disappointing how you guys you have starting a squad that started the season. You guys were rolling, and then towards the end of the year, you guys dropping in numbers and having to start first quarterback, first ever career start in an ECA bowl game. And even though you guys won, it was just it's difficult to start that. Yeah. Personally, for you on the defensive side of the ball, how did you feel that you ended your career as a Cardinal this last season?
I thought it was great. I mean, I had a great time throughout the season just playing football. It's all about playing with the team. And just in my last season, I really got close with the guys, being a starter and just getting close on the football field, during games. And I thought it was great. Getting moved to D-line for 2 games, that was an experience. But it was fun. Coach Mo was great. But yeah, I thought I finished out the season pretty well.
What did you learn from that move from linebacker to this?
I learned how to drop a double. That was probably the biggest thing I learned.
And what about for you, Nathan, on the offensive side of the ball? How did you feel personally? How did the season go for you?
Like I said, we don't want to finish the year that way, but the overall perspective, I thought it was great. Met a lot of new people, new freshmen that came in, transfers. I mean, we all had fun out there. We all worked for each other as well as the defense. I mean, that's the way you want to see a season go in terms of chemistry and motivating each other. And, I mean, I'm excited to get another opportunity to come back this year, but it's definitely not going to be the same without the senior class that we're losing.
And for you, when you look back on this season 10, 15 years from now, what will you remember most?
Oh, that's easy. It's definitely the guys. Yeah. Just hanging out in the locker room, doing crazy stuff after practice, during practice, before practice. It's just, I'm going to miss the guys the most, definitely.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice when you not only are successful on the football field, but off the field when you build relationships with teammates, and you can carry those memories and relationships throughout the lifetime. So, I mean, that's nice. You look at that as well. What about for you, Nathan?
I mean, going off that, it's you remember the wins and the losses, but you don't remember the plays. You don't remember each quarter. You don't remember working practice, all that stuff. But you certainly remember the bonds you make with the coaches and your teammates. I mean, 4 years with these group of guys is awesome. And then the underclassmen, they were like our little brothers basically. It was nice to have a nice family and everyone watching out for each other. Yeah,
and you said you're coming back next year for your final season. Yeah. So what are your plans, I guess, for in the off season as you prepare to get healthy and come back, and what's your mentality as you head into next year?
I mean, first, just get healthy. But, I mean, I'm the only captain coming back, so I think in the offseason I got to kind of rally the troops and get everyone working hard, because that's where our next season's success comes from, is the offseason, without a doubt. Working hard in the weight room, 6 a.m. running, spring practice, all that good stuff. I mean, then we just come in August and we start playing. And I think once we rally everyone together and get everyone working hard, I think good things are going to come.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But all the hard work you put in the off season, the behind the scenes stuff, is what will pay off for next year. What about you? You're a senior. You'll be graduating. What are your plans after that?
Well, I don't really know. I definitely have a big void to fill without being able to play football in the spring. But as far as like staying healthy and stuff, I think I might get into running or things like that. I don't know, focus more time on school.
Yeah. What's your major?
I'm a chemistry major.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a lot of hard work with that one. What do you, I guess, would your future plans for your job that you want to do for a chemistry major?
I'm looking to go to med school.
Oh, good for you.
So, yeah, get some applications out, hopefully get a few interviews. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, work hard and you continue the hard work that you've been doing. And good luck the rest of the way, guys. Good luck next season as you prepare for this. Get healthy as you prepare for next season. And good luck with your future endeavors, and congratulations on graduating. So
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Coming up next, we have head football coach Paul Vosburgh to wrap up the show and give us his final take on the season.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Beauty. You find it everywhere. In nature, in life. What about in education? At Fisher, students are our most precious responsibility. Alumni, our proudest achievement. Each Fisher student benefits from our strong liberal arts foundation, combined with the newest, most advanced professional schools the campus has to offer. This is what awaits you here. Discover the world within at St. John Fisher College.
Welcome back to Fisher Football Focus. I'd now like to welcome Coach Vosburgh to the studio. Coach, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us again.
When you heard the news that your team did not receive an at-large bid in the NCAA tournament, what went through your mind?
Well, I was really disappointed for our seniors in particular. You know, the underclassmen will have another shot at it, but this is the seniors last year, so we got 29 of them that were pretty disappointed. So I guess, you know, my feelings went out to all our players, because it's about the players first and foremost. So you like to see them, and in particular your seniors, to go out and, having said their last year, they did play in the NCAA playoffs and so on.
And, you know, on a positive note, you guys were given an ECAC championship bowl game, and you were able to play Western Connecticut. How was it hard to get the players refocused to play in that type of bowl game, coming off the disappointment of not getting that large bid?
Yeah, because they were disappointed because they had higher aspirations for themselves, and I think that's true in our program right now. That you know, 12 years ago when we first made our first postseason play, an ECAC bowl game was wonderful. Right. But then we got the chance to get in the NCAAs and go all the way as far as the NCAA semifinals, and now it's like a step down a little bit. They don't understand it's still a privilege to be in the postseason, because you know that week that we played, out of the almost 250 teams in Division III football, there was only 46 of us still playing football. So it's still an honor to be considered for the bowl games and be the host of one of the championship games. So, but they were disappointed, no doubt about it. It was a tough week of work, but they responded to the adversity, and we talked about that all week long, how you handle adversity, how you handle setbacks, and that speaks volumes about the type of person you are.
That's right. That's true, and they seem to be very prepared for that game, winning that game 28-14. You guys have now 6-1, career all-time in ECAC bowl games. What was that game like? Playing against a Western Connecticut team, were you kind of familiar about what type of team they were? So kind of talk a little bit about that team you played and how that game really ended up.
Well, it was kind of hard to evaluate with the teams we watched them again. We had no idea of the caliber of ball they were playing. We watched these athletes, and they did have some very good athletes. Hard to make the comparison. A lot of times when you play somebody and you've played another team similar to them or somebody else that they've played before, you have a little feel for them. We didn't have much of a feel for WestCon as far as that goes, but we could see on film that they had some very good athletes, and they were dominant. They were scoring a lot of points, not giving up a lot of points, a lot of yardage on offense, not a lot of yardage given up on defense. So we knew they were going to be a good football team, and so it was just a matter of, okay, guys, we need to get ready to play our game.
And what was it like having to start junior Danny Catan, making his first start at quarterback, losing when you start quarterbacks Tyler Fenty? Was it difficult heading into that game, having to start a backup?
Yeah, it was. We had started a backup before a year ago when we started Matt Nathan at Buffalo State, and Nathan was truly our two guy going into the season or during the season until he got hurt, and then Danny had to come on, and Danny did a great job. He came out against Alfred University, a very good football team, and he put 21 points on the board for us that day and did a good job. Now this was going to be his first start, so this was a tough thing for him to
Bowl
get into.
Game atmosphere,
Bowl game,
yeah.
last game of the season. Seniors need to go out winning. A lot of pressure on his shoulders to make sure our offense still clicked. And I think Danny did a nice job. He worked hard, and he was competing out there. He competed well the week before against Alfred, and I think he competed well. And I told him, I said, Dan, I pulled him in my office during the week, and I said, now this is going to be different than being the guy coming off the bench to save the game.
Right.
This is a different scenario. You're the starter. You're the man now. And so it's going to be a little bit different as the starting quarterback. But I think he did a nice job.
Yep. And staying with the offensive side of the ball, battling those injuries. Towards the end of the year, you guys, explosive offense. But then it seemed that Nagolian went down, then Fenty went down. How I guess disappointing was it to know that you did not, I guess, finish as strong as you should have offensively?
Well, it was tough because we did lose Fenty, and then we had lost Nagolian before that, and he kind of set the tone for the rest of the receiving core and so on. So we had an injury there. We had a couple other guys that were out there playing that were dinged up. We lost a starting offensive lineman in Coleman. We started another kid that was considered a starting offensive lineman in Green. He was down. So we were down two guys on the offensive line, a starting wide receiver and a starting quarterback. So we had some guys dinged up, and we were playing good people there too. We were playing Alfred, which had a very good football team, and now WestCon. So the other guys did a good job. They pulled together, but it took a little bit out of our offense. But our offense still was cranking out about 400 yards, and we put 30-some on versus Alfred and 28 against WestCon and so on. So our guys came through, but it was a little bit tougher with new guys in there, but they did a good job.
Yeah, it's tough to adjust.
Yeah.
But you're able to, the next guy up, they're able to step up and play just as well. It's a relaxing feeling, I guess. Let's focus a little bit on the defensive side of the ball. There was a couple times where Western Connecticut had great field position and a chance to put some points up on the board, but your defense was able to stop them or hold them to a field goal. How important was it to have that defensive set the tone?
Well, the defense has really set the tone the whole year. They were the number one ranked defense in the Empire 8 and one of the top ranked defensive teams in the country, and they just did a great job. They were only giving up about 15 points a game, and for them to go out on the field right off the bat in the bowl game, we get the kickoff, and we're returning it, and unfortunately we fumbled the kickoff. We had a pretty nice little return, but it had decent field position for the offense. But now they've got great field position, and our defense just went out there and set the tone for the rest of the day that they were going to be tough to move it on and so on. So our defense came up big, but that's what they've been doing all year long, coming up big, and that's why they're such a good defensive football team. They know how to handle the adversity and get it done.
And now that the season's over, what will you look back on? I guess your overall perception of how the season went.
Well, it's tough because, again, we have such high aspirations for ourselves as a football program. Our players have such high goals. But when you really sit back and look at it and you say, you had a good football season. Mm-hmm. You had a very good season. You beat some very good football teams, and you beat them convincingly. Yeah. So you really got to try to put things back in perspective and say, you're a 9-2 football team. You're the co-champions of the Empire 8, one of the strongest conferences in the country. You played one of the strongest schedules in the country, and you did well. You're 9-2. There's not a lot of 9-2 teams in the country. And so you need, and with the schedule you played, in fact, if you look in the strength of schedule category, there's only, I think, one team that has a higher strength of schedule that had a better record than us, and that was Wesley. They were 5-0 because their other games did not count in the strength of schedule, but they were undefeated in that. All the other teams ranked in front of us with a higher strength of schedule, which there's not many of them. There's only about 10 of them in front of us. Their records weren't as good as ours, so our guys did pretty good overall. And I know they're disappointed, but they did a good job. Right.
And now that they can hang their hats held high. They successful season, 9-2, like you said. But now it's the off season. It's what are you going to prepare your team now? Now that it's the off season, as you guys prepare you guys for spring ball and then heading into the fall season.
Well, the big thing we told the guys at our last team meeting was, make sure they stay in shape over the holidays and stuff like that, because as soon as they get back, we'll start right into the off-season conditioning program, and then that'll take us right into spring practice, and not much after that. The fall will be started, and a new season will be on its way. So we need to get ready for the next season. And that there's really no off-season anymore. It's just a different part of the year. That's about all there is. Yeah. And so we just keep working at it and so on. And as coaches, the other big part is we've got to do our recruiting. We've got 29 seniors graduating. So we need to replace those. We need to get a new freshman crew in here and see what we can do with that crew and grow as a program and get better. And next year, hopefully, make those NCAA playoffs.
Yeah, a lot of shoes to fill, I guess, with all those seniors graduating. Yeah. But you guys will get back to work and get the job done for next season. So
that's what we plan to do.
Well, good luck, and congratulations on this successful season, and good luck in the off season as you head into next year.
Thank you very much.
That's all the time we have for you today on Fisher Football Focus. I'd like to thank all the guests who appeared on today's show, and you viewers out there who tuned in to watch. I'd also like to applaud the Fisher football program for all their hard work and dedication throughout this successful season. As regard to this show, I hope we can continue to cover the Fisher football program as well as the Fisher athletics in years to come. Until next time, my name is Kyle Lumsden. Take care, everyone.